Hey guys, how you doing? My name is CODENAMEBIGBEAR Stuart. If you want to call me by my first name, welcome to the Bear's Den. We're not actually in the den today, as you can see. There's no green screen. I haven't had time to set it up, and I really just don't have time to do anything, so it's going to be a very, very short video. Basically, there has been news recently that that Rockstar is working on re-releasing old games, potentially for the Switch, but also in the upcoming new console lineup of PS5 and Xbox One X. Xbox One X? Series X. I can never remember. But yeah, they're talking about re-releasing 3 games, and obviously the biggest culprits are, well, the biggest likelihood is going to be the Grand Theft Auto games. Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and San Andreas are most likely, and that would be fantastic. If we do get those on the Switch, amazing. That would be really, really great, and I'd absolutely love to see that. But there are other Rockstar games out there that they could be working on. They might just kind of just do Vice City. They might throw in Bully, which would be amazing to get some more love for that game as well, and see how those sales go. Maybe we'll actually finally get a sequel to that one. Very unlikely though. I really don't think that Rockstar likes Bully all that much, to be fair. We don't really get sequels. We had that random kind of like re-release or backwards compatibility version on the Xbox. Yeah, one of those. But there is a series of games out there that Rockstar own the rights to, I believe now. I don't think Remedy has them, but it's the Max Payne games. Max Payne is just fantastic. I love those games so much. The first game had Sam Lake's weird face, yeah, that face he had in that comic book style, but it kind of made bullet time very accessible in video games. And it was very, very cool and very noir and had this really kind of gritty, nasty little story going on. The sequel followed suit, very much so. But then Rockstar acquired Max Payne properly. They produced the third game without Remedy's involvement in any way, shape, or form. And people were very annoyed with the way Max looked, with his shaved head and his beard and his Hawaiian shirt, which I thought looked brilliant. But at the same time, even I was put off with that because I was like, what's going on with Max? This doesn't look right. And I didn't really play the game until a couple of years after its release. And when I played that game, I realised my mistake, because that game was just flipping amazing. Now, I know I've spoken about games that I would love to see on the Nintendo Switch, but this is one in particular that I always just forget about, because again, it is one of those games that just, it doesn't have that love. People don't really talk about it all that much, and that kind of bothers me a little bit, because it's a game I absolutely adored when I played it, and even a few of us here at Respawning, I believe, also agree with me that yes, it is a fantastic game, but it's just not spoken about, so we don't talk about it. We never do. We talk about games like, that kind of are forgotten, that we wish weren't, like Titanfall 2, that kind of thing. But Max Payne 3 was just incredible. It visually looked stunning. It had this amazing kind of like the way to say amazing is kind of something around at the time games were doing quite a lot of, having like chapter titles kind of appear on the wall and lights and stuff. And it always reminds me of Matchborn Killers in the Sweat Lodge scene. I want to say Sweat Lodge, could be completely wrong on that one. But yeah, either way, it had some really, really cool stuff going on it. And Max himself was just a fantastic character, and the shooting in that game was amazing. It was hard hitting. You had all these great modes to go with it as well, like One Hot Minute, or New York Minute, I think it was called. And you just had this amazing story to go with it, with this bodyguard version of Max Payne losing a client and then shaving his head so he's kind of in disguise, kind of Kurgan style-y in Highlander. Sometimes it kind of really just changes his whole look and his whole attitude and everything else. But he's an amazing badass. And like Max Payne 3 to me feels like what Die Hard wants to be these days. If you were going to make a Max Payne 3 video game movie, maybe cast Bruce Willis. I think he'd be great in the role. If it was Max Payne 3, I would love to see that, but obviously if Bruce Willis is going to do it, you'd have to be actually interested, because on his face, he's never interested in anything he does these days. I'm going off tangent, but to have Max Payne 3 appear on the Switch would be really cool. It'll be really, really cool. I think it'll be kind of like almost like a game changer, especially like if you get some eyes on it and people going, oh yeah, okay, cool, let's play this game. The idea you can play that, again, as always with the Switch, in your hands, portably, on the bus, on a train, just at your parents' house, away from home, just sat on the couch, whatever, it doesn't matter. To be able to do that will be absolutely amazing. and it will kind of just show off, again, the Switch can do things that people just don't really expect. Because that game is gorgeous. It is stunning to look at, even now. 360 era, it was one of the last games that came out that still just looked incredible. And if you up-res those for the new generations, if PS5 or whatnot, it would look amazing. Yeah, it would look absolutely amazing. It really, really would. And even just having that box standard version will just neatened up graphics on the Switch, I think it would just be incredible. We know the Switch can run games of that era quite well. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a very, very short video. Really, I don't really have anything else to say, to be honest. I just kind of saw this news, like, oh yeah, that's something I can do with Bears Den. I almost didn't do one today because I just didn't have time. But yeah. So on the Bears Den side of things, I am trying to get things out every Sunday as usual. Hopefully, this video is out on Sunday as my usual time slot. There's been a few projects I've got on the side as well. I've got a regular podcast I'm making, which is called The Recasters, where we recast classic movies with modern day actors. If you're interested, it's The Recasters. In Twitter, and you find it on Spotify and things like that. If you're interested, I don't know. But yeah, if you are still sticking with me here, like I say, I'm trying to get videos out as often as, or every single week at least, regular Bears Den, as I have been for the last year. And I'm doing everything I can to do that. It's just finding the time, especially with my new job and that as well. But guys, yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all those usual things that we talk about here on YouTube. Click the bell, blah 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 blah. If you have any opinions on Max Payne coming to Switch, let us know down below. Also, another game that would be amazing to come from Rockstar, just as a throwaway one, is Red Dead Revolver. I would love to see that game return. I really would. People have forgotten about it since the Red Dead games have become so huge. But yeah, guys, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to be nice to each other, and I'll see you around.